Hey everybody, it's Hussein Kabani, your favorite broker, and welcome to 2025. So obviously in this video, we gotta go back and look at what happened in 24, compare it to 23, and then I'm gonna kind of give you an indication of what I think is gonna happen in 25, which is still gonna be a wild card, let's just call it that. So to do a quick little recap over here, if we look at the number of units that were actually sold, so between 23 and 24, we went down slightly in terms of units that were sold, went down about like 2.6%, which was about 1,700 units less sold in 24 compared to 23. The average selling price was actually lower as well, so no good news over there either, but it wasn't that bad. So it was less than 1%, which was about $8,700 on average per house. Now we have sales that are down and prices that are down, but our inventory was actually up. So all three categories, we didn't actually do so great. In fact, with our inventory being up, at the end of September, we saw a number on the Toronto Real Estate Board of available inventory that we have actually never seen before, which was just over 26,000 listings available for sale. So I think that really when we look at 2024, it was a real year where we just kind of leveled things off. So we saw kind of a decline at the beginning of 22, and it just kind of started to go down from there. In 23, we almost kind of caught our breath, and then in 24, we just kind of saw things kind of flatline. 24 was like an interesting year to kind of go into because at the end of 23, we had this all of a sudden momentum that we've talked about a bunch of times at the end of December, and it lasted kind of January, February, then we kind of flatlined, and then we saw a decline in sales when we compared it back to 23. So overall, yeah, we had less sales in 24, a little bit of a price drop, not that much, and then our inventory was really, really, really high. Now, to make some comparisons to like where we had like our top years, which was basically like 21, 22 in terms of sales. If we look at the number of sales, okay, our benchmark high, which was really, really high, I don't think we should have actually been there, was in 21. So in 21, we had just under 122,000 sales. In 22, we had just over 75,000 sales. So you see that jump, basically just under 122,000 to just over 75,000. So huge jump over there. And then in 23, we had just under 68,000 sales. And then in 24, we had just under 66,000 sales. Even when we look at average price, our average price, the highest it was in the GTA was in 22 as well. And that was just under $1.2 million. Now, if we look at the highest price that we had in 22 versus what the average price was in 24, we basically saw a decline of about 6.1% or 73,000 on average that we saw come down in price. So basically out of that 6.1%, we actually saw a majority of that kind of happen between 22 and 23, which was around like 5 and change. And then we just saw a little bit more of a price drop between 23 and 24. Same thing kind of with the listings. So the listings were still kind of actually higher. So like I said, we recorded the highest amount of listings available for sale at the end of September, which was just over 26,000 listings available for sale. Now, January 1st is a benchmark that I've kind of put in over here, and I'm just going to rhyme out the numbers to you. So January 1st in 23, we had just under 85,000 listings available for sale. In 24, we had just under 13,000 listings available for sale. And in 25, right now, we had just under 17,000 or just under 15,000 listings available for sale. The kicker to this is that in 22, when we saw the highest prices, the lowest inventory, January 1st, 2022, was under 3,500 listings available for sale. Now, put that into context. January 1st, 2022, we had under 3,500 listings available for sale. 2025 right now, we have just under 15,000 listings available for sale, which is basically an increase of like over 330%. So we have a lot more inventory. Last year in 2024, I would say it was an interesting year because we were kind of leveling off and there was a lot of hesitation in the market. There was a lot of uncertainty in the market because where we were at an all-time high, we saw it come at an all-time low. So with that uncertainty, people don't really want to transact in the market. But I think in 24, we saw it kind of level off, and I think that confidence is going to come back in 2025. We started to see it come back at the end of 2024, but I think that confidence is likely going to continue into 2025. I mean, there's obviously variables right now of like, you know, Trudeau has resigned, so like there is going to be a federal election sooner than we thought. Might be for good, better thing. And then also we started to see the interest rates come down in 24 as well. And that was another huge concern for people that wanted to transact in the market. So with these two things kind of happening in the market, it's kind of hard to see where 25 is going to go. Already we've seen unemployment rates kind of starting to go up. And there was another video or a note I saw. It was basically, you know, last year we were really watching the inflation number to dictate whether where interest rates were going to go. I think it's going to be the employment or unemployment number that we're going to be watching this year to see where the interest rates are going to kind of go. Also, do we think that Trump is going to make Canada the 51st state? Not sure about that. I don't know. I might be voting yes if that came around, but you know, Trump's tariffs that are going to come into 25 points and us not having a federal government in play when he comes into power again, that's going to be an interesting thing to watch around the market. But overall, what I can say, you know, in the market is this. I think that we're probably going to see a steady market in 2025. Somebody that wants to transact for personal reasons, whereas they want to get into the market because they need a place to live and they rather own than rent. I think this is going to be a good time. You want to move up in the market, you want to move down in the market. I think we could do it with confidence. So I think a lot more confidence. I think that we're going to see a lot more transactions actually happen because of that confidence. I think we'll probably see somewhere around 85-ish thousand transactions happen. That's kind of my guess on where I'm seeing things go. So call it in January 2025. I think that this year we're probably going to see around 85,000 transactions happen because of the confidence. And I don't really see the price moving up too much if we do see it move up at all. I think somewhere between that 3 to 5% is probably what we're going to see. And I think if we're talking again in a year in 2026, I think if this all plays out, I think 2026 is probably going to play out the same way. And we could probably see this consistent growth up until something else kind of makes the market go up. And what could that possibly be? That could be that our inventory is starting to get absorbed. Even when we look at the downtown condo market, we're starting to see some of that inventory get absorbed. My concern with the condo market is that, you know, while we're seeing that resale inventory starting to get absorbed a bit, not much, but a bit, the challenge is that all these buildings were built on speculation, you know, and sold 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and those are starting to close right now. And what are the position of those people that committed to those contracts at this point right now, and how much of that inventory is going to come back into the market? I think it's going to be a lot. So I think with the condo market, that could become an issue. With the freehold market, I think that there were projects that were built, but I think freehold works in a little bit of a different way where we have a shorter window where people actually commit to these new construction properties. Typically, it's between 12 and 18 months, okay? So I think that whatever fallout or whatever you want to call it about the freehold inventory, we'll probably have already seen it. And if that freehold inventory starts to get absorbed quickly, I think we might see more of a rise in that freehold price, because if that inventory gets sucked up, the prices will start to go up. And what will happen at that point is that we'll probably start to see more condo sell, because once you start to get priced out of the freehold market and you've got to buy, you're going to probably end up in the condo market. These are my thoughts about how I see 2025 kind of going down. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that we're going to see huge price increases like we saw in 2020, 2021? Do you think that we're going to see lower inventory position? How do you guys see this all going down? Where do you guys see the interest rates going? And what do you guys think some of the hesitations are of the market not picking up if it doesn't in 2025? I'd like to know your thoughts overall. Love it if you guys can share it in the comments below, or my Calendly link is going to be on the screen here somewhere on the notes. So click that. Love to have a quick chat with you guys about what you guys think, and don't mind sharing a little bit more of details I have about different geographic areas with you guys as well, if you want a specific area. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, even if you haven't, it will really help me out if you could just hit the like button, subscribe. I have amazing content, so you'll get it, notification of it when I put it out. And don't forget to comment below. Until next time, guys, remember one thing: get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.